No, I'm not here to read you a bedtime story, but what I am here to give you value in this YouTube video today. It just looks like I'm here on some setup to do, a little nighttime cap for you, but I've got nowhere to put my laptop, so I've got to cross my legs and go like this. Hope you like the video. Anyway, right. What I want to cover today is the lie that most traders are absolutely telling you about the trading education, right? That's what I want to touch on today, right? And the reason is because we in this space are seen as maybe just selling information or some sort of scam and things like that. And you know that you get people with a very small mind, and in relation to, they never really achieve anything. They never really invest in themselves, and everything's a scam to them. They buy a cheeseburger and it doesn't taste right and they call it a scam. This video is not for you because your mind is very, very fixed. It's not growth. But there are also a lot of people out there that have a growth mindset and still are a little bit skeptical when they come into this trading industry, because there's a lot of traders. Yes, there's traders like myself that sell programs or courses as a side business to actually trading. And there's some people that don't, and they just live off trading. And there's some people that just sell courses, right? That's just the way in the world that we live in. It's been going on probably for the 50, 60, hundreds of years when people were selling information back then. But in today's video, I want to just touch on things in relation to why trading and why YouTube don't give you the information that you really need, or give you false information, for want of a better way to explain that. Okay. So the trading industry, the way that it sells things, sells it in a lie. And what do I mean by that? Well, you will see headlines like, you can trade in 30 days. You are one strategy away from being a billionaire. All right. And things like that. And I understand that, because that is sales. That is marketing. That is how you get people's attention. One more course, one more indicator, one more secret model. And then you're profitable straight away. Now, for those that are watching this video and work with me, it takes time to do this skill. All right. Now, it does take one course. It can take one mentorship, one strategy, and one asset and things like that, because I preach those things, but it's not going to happen overnight. Now, even though that is true, the problem is because people's expectations, and this is where traders get stuck. They are expecting that it is going to be that one course, that one mentorship, that one free Discord, that one paid Discord, that one strategy, and then that's going to answer everything. But it's not that simple. Okay. So what you got to look at is things like, say, like the regulators, okay, the providers, right? They're forced to publish how dangerous leverage trading and leverage products are. All right. If you go and look at any prop firm or any financial or any broker or anything like that, it will stress multiple times of how dangerous it is and why you should be aware of what you're actually getting into. You see, like, most retail traders lose. As we know, the percentage is very, very high. Top Step put their stats out of the small probability of people that can take payouts. Now, we've had many people take payouts in our community. That's not because there's some wonderful and amazing people, if they're watching this, even though they are, but they just taking the time to understand that it's not going to be an overnight success. All right. Now, there's other stats like, the Financial Association, whatever they do is just put on here, like 80% of customers lose money through CFDs and normal trading. And that's higher in, crypto and futures as we trade. All right. So of course, most people are going to be losing money. So when they come into trading and they think, oh, it's a scam, they're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at what it is and the percentages for you to become an actual trader. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that nobody can trade, because everybody thinks nobody can trade. It's a scam. Nobody can trade. Nobody makes money from trading. For every person that says that, I can show you 10, 20, 30 full-time traders. All right. It means that you just need to learn things. You need to learn and go through a process like an apprenticeship of learning how to trade. All right. It's a very simple way of putting it. People say to me, how did you become a trader? I just went in survival mode and had no plan B. I just had no plan B. I went into survival mode and it needed to work in some way, shape or form. Now, I'm by far nowhere near the perfect trader. I still have many, many flaws, but I'm way ahead than, say, 90% of the people that get in there with this fixed mindset of thinking it's just about selling courses or it's just about making quick money on a futures contracts. All right. So why do traders sell the lie? I've distanced myself in the way that I am, my content, the way I kind of come across and my approach is because it's not within me to sell a lie. All right. I don't want to sell a lie. Because in the long run, that's going to damage my brand, me as a teacher, a dad, whatever it may be. Subconsciously, that would bother me. Right. So, but a lot of people don't care about things like that. They're just out there to make money and just buy things and show off to the world. Right. And that's the problem. Right. That's the problem. So let's dive into why they sell a lie, right? And why they say, oh, well, the strategy is just easy, because the strategy is the easiest part to sell. All the videos that you see online with all the strategy videos, why do you think they get loads and thousands of views? Because they're the easiest way to get people involved. My videos where we talk about the in-depth of level 2 thinking and transurfing the mindset and becoming a better human being, because that's what you need to be a top trader. There's only a small select of people, most of you that are watching this, that are interested to take your life to that next level. But the person who's chasing a quick payout from Top Step to try and take a girl out to a restaurant that he can't afford, he's not interested in this because he's just interested in the quick short terms. Okay. So when people talk about, oh, it's strategy, it's easy to watch. It's clean. It's exciting. Oh, I've got a new strategy. When someone's watching a new strategy on a video, it looks like I'm progressing. That's what it looks like. I fell in that trap, and many of you have probably fell in this trap before. It looks like you are progressing. Oh, I found a new strategy. Let me niche down on that, Whereas if you look at what we do and what traders have to do, which is systemize, if I say to you, use this system, it's not really sexy, is it? It's not sexy. So we're not attracted to that kind of thing. The risk, if I say to you, oh, here's a video on risk management, it's not sexy. It's not a nice pull. It's not what we're trying to get involved with. All right. And then when I turn around and say, well, execution under pressure, watch this video. Again, it's not appealing to someone who's chasing that dopamine. It's only appealing to the higher IQ or level 2 people of thinking like yourselves watching this video and who want to get to the next level. They don't want to be like the average thinker. They don't want to be like the average person who's trying to make quick money and show off. Because that's never going to last. It's probably never going to happen for long. All right. But trading doesn't pay you for what you know. And I know that because I've got some traders that I work with and they're a lot more intelligent than me. And they've been trading longer than me, but they don't get paid as much as me. They will do. They'll probably make more eventually. All right. But it pays you for what you can execute consistently. I've just got that written here now. It pays you for what you can execute consistently. I love Stacey Burke and I'm just watching some of his stuff now and it's like level 3 thinking a lot of the time. But he talks about just wait for that one setup during the week. That's the hard part. And I trade a very, very similar way in relation to how I get into trades. But he talks about waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's something that I'm going to implement even more into 2026, right? But remember this saying here, trading doesn't pay you for what you know. You know many, many broke, intelligent people. I do. I know loads of broke, intelligent people. All right. It pays you for how you execute. And that's literally the point that we want to hammer down on this channel consistently. Strategies are not the problem. Like execution is always the problem. Execution is all the problem. So the real lie, right, is profitability is an information problem. That's the real problem. All right. That profitability is an information problem. That's why you're going out there and people pay myself and then people pay all these people because they want to try and get information as cheap as they can because that's what's going to solve the problem. It's not just information. It's implementation and everything like that. Okay. So if you think it's more knowledge, what do? You go and gain more knowledge and it's analysis paralysis. And you just keep going round in a circle and you keep overcomplicating it. It could be a mermaid turtle soup backflip or a imbalanced IFG premium discount around the world trip, whatever it is, more information. That's not what you need. If that was the case, if knowledge was the missing piece, then it would be quite straightforward. You just get more knowledge and you get more profitable. Why is that not the case? Why are you watching this video and figuring out what is going wrong? But if profitability was information, right, smart people would dominate instantly. That's not the case. As I always say, I know some very, very intelligent people and they cannot trade for love nor money. All right. Instead, what happens is this: people learn more and they lose more because nothing in their process changed. They just keep learning more. So they just keep reading more books. They keep doing the same thing at the gym, and they're not, they come to that part where you plateau. They keep doing the same things time and time again. Well, you all know that's a form of insanity. We all know that. But the problem is it's not more information. You can only read so many self-help books. I said that in the last video. Now, what keeps traders stuck is it's like a cycle. I talk about the feedback loop theory. Cycle. Whereas you strategy hopping, you never collect enough data in what you're actually trying to do, right, to see if it even works. How's that even going to work? You then, you have this fake productivity. You've all been through that. I've been through that myself many, many times, where you're watching videos and you're trying to do all these notebooks and you think you're doing all this and you're consuming all these things, yet you still don't get nowhere. This is a trap. All right. You have no risk framework, right? You don't even have an edge. You're trying to take payouts from Top Step or wherever. You don't even have an edge in the market. Your size is wrong. Your risk is wrong. You just keep blowing up unexpectedly time and time again. Yet you think it's a strategy or you think it's more information, right? And then the killer is that you have no pressure protocols. So you just revenge trade after every loss straight away, right? Just in the pressure, you got no idea. When you win, you think they can double down and oversize and overconfident, right? And then during the chop, you don't even realize that you're in chop and you're trying to catch lows and tops and you're only making a 20-point move on NASDAQ or whatever you're trading, and you're in consolidation and you're just getting all your money wiped out. And you can lose all your month's work, 2 months' work within a chop. Trust me, I know, I've done it many, many times. And that's when you turn around and say, well, maybe I need a better strategy. This doesn't work. So let me go and try another strategy. And you're not doing it the right way. You just need to systemize either a profitable strategy that has worked for you in the past or get a strategy that is systemized. Forgive me, I think my mic was on my chain there. You may have heard that in the video. All right. So let's then think about how you're going to replace that. What I did and what I do and how I help people. And if you want any help with that, there's a link below. Jump involved. Let me teach you how to trade in 2026, right? Here's what I believe. And this is what most of the people that I work with are going to believe, all right? Trading is a performance-based business. Just like athletes, just like anything else where performance is involved, because it's high pressure, elite level thinking, all right? Performance. So does edge matter? Absolutely. But profitability comes from 3 things that work together. And I want you to write these 3 things down, people. 3 things down. A simple model that you can repeat time and time again. It shows up every single week and you can repeat it every single week. That's what I do. Highs and lows, sweeps, done. It repeats every single week. Not 10 different setups, the orb, this, that. No. One framework that repeats itself time and time again and has done for the last 10, 20, 30 years. Number 2, risk that keeps you in the game. You need to stay in the game for as long as possible. The longer you're in the game, the higher the probabilities you will survive and become profitable. It's very simple and self-explanatory, but people don't get it. Stay in the game because your risk is vital. And number 3, execution that holds under pressure. If you have a systemized, rules-based way of trading, it does not matter about pressure because the rules are the rules. Rules are going to allow you to survive like they do in real life. If you break the rules, you're in jail, you're all over, it's done. Rules. So treat your trading exactly the same, right? And if any one of those things is missing, something's broken. Something is broken, right? The whole thing breaks down. If any one thing is missing, the whole thing will break down. All right. So for me, this is what I do. I choose to see it as like an operating system, right? This is what I do instead. If you want to escape the industry lie and the industry bullshit, excuse my French, but I will say it, right? You need to build systems in your life, in your gym, in your relationships, in your trading, in everything that you do. You need to build systems. These are OS systems. Let's call it the Precision OS, all right? The Precision Stack System, but we're going to call it Precision OS. Now, you need to define your model. Step 1. This is what I do. One setup, one market, one session. My operating state in step 2 is I lock in my risk before the trade. What am I willing to risk before the trading days even start? How many contracts am I willing to put on? How many trades am I willing to do? Step 2. Step 3 is you must install circuit breakers. If you break a rule, you got to stop. If you take more than trades, you got to stop. If you hit your loss limit, you got to stop. Because if not, you're going to spiral and you're going to lose everything. And then step 4, you got to review like a professional. You don't just put up shop, done, all done. I did good today. I did bad today. And that's it. Go and review. What did I win? Why didn't I win? What happened? What could I have done better? What time of the day was it? It's not going to take you long. More importantly, did I execute and did I follow my rules while I was under pressure? That is how you're going to build consistency in 2026, right? Now, most people want trading to be easy. They want it to be cleaner. They want it to be more controlled. They want it to be more repeatable. And they just can't figure out. Now, because the market doesn't care how badly you want it, it pays precision and punishes chaos. It pays precision. It pays me for my precision stack. It pays me for our precision OS system. It pays me for precision, but it punishes any type of chaos, right? And that's why what I do, the Precision Stack Mentorship program exists. The program exists because it keeps the lie in your face and stops you from being struck. I want you to understand that this industry is one big lie, what you see most of the time. I want you to understand that, all right? And the only way that lie is going to be, you're going to understand what's going on is by having a systemized approach to way the trading, all right? Very, very simple. Not because you need another strategy, not because you need another strategy, but because you need a system that actually holds its time and in pressure when it matters. That's what you need, right? So if you're done chasing all these crazy things and you want to get rid of all the lifestyle stuff and you've unfollowed all people on your Instagram, I went through that, in your YouTube, and you're refreshing your mind to make 2026 what you need a repeatable system. And this is what you need to do next. I only take on 15 people per month. All of you know that. That is a new thing that we are doing. Application only, fill out the form. Let me give you the system, not only the system, the mindset, the lifestyle, the vision, the habits that you need to move forward in 2026 so you can be a profitable trader. I wish you all the success. As always, no pressure from me ever at the time. Take this video, take the notes, rewatch it 5 or 6 times and get in the game.